She was screaming inside, but all anyone saw was her standing there, shirt pulled tight across her stomach, his fist clenched in the fabric like he was trying to tear her open. I said, "I don't want a fat cheerleader." The words hit harder than the grip, louder than the whistle, sharper than the sun. Laughter, cruel, unchecked, echoing from the bleachers. One girl pointed, another filmed. The rest just watched. She didn't run, didn't fight. She just stood there, face red, jaw locked, eyes blinking back something deeper than tears. And while they laughed, in the distance, the sound of boots on pavement, steady, heavy, closing in. He wasn't yelling, he wasn't rushing, but the way he walked, you knew someone was about to regret everything they just did. Because the girl they mocked, that was his daughter, and he was a Navy SEAL. But every step he took said one thing: you just messed with the wrong girl. Friday, Texas. High school stadium lit up like a Friday Night Lights movie set. Cheer bows bouncing, cleats clacking, Coach Simmons blowing his whistle like it's a badge of honor. Booster moms on the bleachers with their Starbucks cups and overly whitened smiles. You see Haley's new kicks? Custom Nikes. Her mom had 'em flown in from LA. Everything sparkled. The girls, the boys, even the turf looked rich. And then she stepped onto the field. Silence. Like the wind got caught in someone's throat. Someone muttered, "Is she trying out?" Chase didn't even hide his laugh. "Y'all see the earthquake coming down the 50-yard line?" Haley Monroe didn't look up. She just pulled out her phone. "Wait, hold still," she whispered. "This is gonna blow up on TikTok." Jania kept walking. Same worn sneakers, same too-tight uniform, same stretch marks she never bothered to hide. Coach blinked twice. One of the squad girls whispered, "She has to be joking." "She's not," said another. "I heard she used to cheer in Florida." "Yeah, and I used to date Drake," someone fired back. Jania reached the edge of the grass and stopped. "Name?" Coach asked, clipboard barely raised. "Jania Thompson," she said. Chase snorted. "Spell it for him, sweetheart. He don't speak heavy." A few girls giggled, nervous ones. Coach sighed. "All right, you're last in the lineup, back of the group." Jania nodded. "Copy that." That's all she said. Didn't defend herself, didn't fold, didn't shrink, just walked to the back like it didn't burn. Like she wasn't bleeding under the skin. One girl turned to her friend. "She's brave." Or delusional. Either way, everyone was watching her now. Even the janitor paused mid-mop. From the booth, the announcer's voice boomed. "Tryouts begin in 10, 9, 8. Haley turned toward Jania, smiling sharp. "Hope you stretched, Big Red." Chase added, "Hope the field's insured." Jania said nothing. She just tightened her ponytail. Then under her breath, barely a whisper, "Y'all don't even know what you just started." Who even let her try out? Chase Lander's blue jersey, cocky grin, looked around like someone owed him an answer. No one replied. He chuckled anyway. That's the problem with transfer rules. Anybody with a heartbeat and a lunch ticket thinks they belong. Haley Monroe didn't look up from her compact mirror. "Be nice, Chase. You're making the poor thing sweat through polyester." Someone snorted. Chase leaned over to one of the linemen. "Bet you 20 she breaks a bench before the warm-up ends." "Make it 40 if she cries first," the lineman replied. Jania adjusted her shoes, didn't look at them, didn't flinch. That made Chase louder. "Yo, Big Red, you hear me?" She turned once, calm. "I hear you. You done?" Chase blinked. The lineman said, "Ow!" Jania turned back around. Haley raised an eyebrow. "She's got sass." "Yeah, and stretch marks," Chase fired. Laughter again. Same voices, same sound. But there were others, silent, watching. You could feel it. And then came the whisper, low and close. "You know who her dad is?" "No. Military or something, that's what I heard." Chase scoffed. "Man, her dad probably works security at Walmart." Haley chimed in, still smiling. "A badge doesn't make you dangerous." Jania was stretching now. Arms overhead, eyes forward. Not a flicker of reaction. The girl next to her leaned in. "Are you really from Florida?" Jania nodded. "Cheered there too?" "Yeah. You don't talk much." "I talk when it matters." Another pause. Then the girl asked, "Why'd you move?" Jania hesitated. "Dad's new post. He gets relocated a lot." "Post? Like military?" Jania just smiled. Not a word more. Down on the sideline, Coach Simmons muttered to his assistant, "She doesn't look like much of a jumper." the assistant said. Neither did Serena when she started. Coach grunted. Well, let's see if she can land. Meanwhile, Chase walked up to Haley, arms folded. She won't last 10 minutes. 5, Haley said, twirling her finger through her hair. Then she's out? Or in tears? Bet? Always. Back in formation, Jania rolled her neck and whispered, People like you always bet wrong. Water break, the coach yelled. The squad jogged off toward the cooler, ponytails bouncing, sneakers squeaking. Jania got there last. Haley stepped in front of her. Oh, sorry, she said, holding up the last cup. Didn't see you. Then she poured the water out, right in the grass, smiled, walked away. Jania said nothing, just bent down, scooped a handful of cold grass, and wiped her neck. Behind her, Chase said, She probably sweats gravy. The laughter wasn't loud this time, just sharp, quick, like knives in the dark. Back in line. Toe-touch jumps, the coach barked. The girls got into position. Jania stretched. A whisper floated through the line. She's gonna rip that skirt. Then louder. Better clear a path. We don't need an earthquake drill. Coach looked up, looked away. One of the girls near Haley said, You think she can even jump? She better not land on me, Haley smirked. No one corrected them. No one said stop. Jania looked down. Her laces were loose. She tied them again. Slow, steady, double knotted. Line up for pyramids, someone called. Back spots to the left. Jania stepped forward. No, Haley said, waving her off. You're too heavy. You'll crush the whole block. Another girl added, She should be the mascot, not a flyer. Jania asked calmly, Did coach say that, or just you? Haley tilted her head. It's common sense. Jania locked eyes. I've seen sense. You're not it. They moved into formation anyway. Jania took her place as a base, front row, feet planted. Switch, Haley barked. She's not stable enough. She's stable enough for your ego? Someone muttered from the back. But no one said it loud. They did the first pyramid. Wobbled. Fell. Haley didn't land right. She stood up, brushing grass off her knees. See? She snapped. She's not squad material. Jania stood still. Coach glanced over, said nothing. Back in the line, Chase walked by with a Gatorade bottle. He slowed near Jania, held it out like a peace offering. She reached for it. He pulled it back. Didn't think Navy brats begged. She didn't blink. Didn't think quarterbacks needed TikTok clout to feel tall. The smile dropped from his face. The girls nearby sucked in their breath. You trying to be funny? Chase asked. I'm not trying, Jania replied. I don't need to. Later that hour, someone left a note on her backpack. It wasn't folded, wasn't subtle. Just one sentence scrawled in red ink. Fat doesn't fly. She read it once, tore it in half, tossed it in the trash. Back at the cooler, the assistant coach noticed. Did you drink yet? He asked. Jania shook her head. He handed her a fresh cup, then quietly said, My sister cheered. She didn't look like them either. Jania nodded. Did she make the squad? Captain, 2 years in a row. A long pause. Then Jania smiled, just a little. Thanks, coach. Behind them, Haley watched. Then leaned over to Chase and whispered, She's starting to think she belongs. Chase scoffed. Don't worry, I'll fix that. Final round, Coach Simmons barked. Full routine. Pyramids, jumps, callouts. You either hit or you're out. The music kicked in. The squad lined up. Jania took her place in the back corner, base row. Chase was already pacing the sideline, not even in uniform. Why's he even out here? Someone whispered. Because Chase Landers does what Chase Landers wants, someone else replied. Haley clapped twice, loud and fake. All right, ladies, last impressions. She shot a look over her shoulder. And some of y'all already made yours. The cheer began. 2, 4, 6, 8. Jania moved in sync, not fast, but precise. By the third verse, they were setting up for the pyramid. Jania was base left. Haley stepped up, light-footed, dramatic. You sure you can hold me? She smirked. Jania didn't look up. Try not to wiggle. The girls around them caught it. Tried not to laugh. Haley rolled her eyes. They climbed, stacked, almost stuck it. Then coach shouted, Hold, pose now. Snap. Haley shifted too far back. Fell. Right on her side, not hard, but hard enough. She popped up, furious. Seriously? She couldn't even hold one pose. Coach opened his mouth, then closed it. The line went silent. Then Chase stepped forward. He wasn't on the list. Wasn't even supposed to be near the routine. Didn't matter. He walked right to the center of the field. Gatorade bottle in one hand, smirk in the other. Y'all really gonna let this girl stay out here? No one moved. Be honest. Is this a cheer tryout or a weight loss ad? Someone gasped. Coach didn't react. The girls froze. Jania stood up straight. Chase walked right up to her. You're not even athletic, you're just fat. He said it loud, proud, like it was a punchline. Then, he reached out, grabbed the front of her uniform and yanked it forward. Look at this. Is this even regulation? She's gonna pop out of this thing mid-flip. Laughter. Cameras. Haley lifted her phone and started recording. Smile for TikTok, Big Red. The assistant coach stepped forward, hesitated. Coach Simmons just rubbed his temples. Jania looked down at his hand, still gripping her shirt. Her eyes didn't blink. She didn't push him, didn't slap him. She leaned in, voice calm, dead steady. You really shouldn't have done that. Chase tilted his head. Oh yeah? Why not? Behind them someone whispered, she's gonna snap. She better. She needs to. But Jania didn't snap. She exhaled slowly, pulled his hand off her shirt, dropped it, turned her back, started walking toward the bench. And that's when Chase shouted, "That's right, walk away. That's all fat girls ever do, walk and eat." The crowd roared with laughter, even a few parents chuckled. The assistant coach muttered, "This is getting out of hand." Then, a girl near the bleacher said, "Wait, who's that?" Haley turned. Oh no. Across the parking lot, boots, dark, heavy, slow. Someone else said, "Why's he walking like that?" Another whispered, "Who is that?" The girls froze. Chase didn't. He laughed again. "Tell your daddy to bring you a treadmill next time." Then he stopped. Because now the boots were on the field. And the man wearing them didn't say a word, didn't have to. Boots, steady, measured, heavy on the turf. Nobody clapped, nobody cheered, because nobody knew who he was. Not yet. Black tactical boots, faded jeans, tight olive shirt, beard trimmed military clean. His eyes never blinked. He walked straight across the field, like he owned it. Haley squinted. "Wait, who is that?" Chase turned around. "What, somebody's dad coming to cry?" The man didn't stop, didn't slow. He walked right between two cheerleaders, cutting across the formation like they didn't exist. Coach Simmons stepped forward, clipboard raised. "Sir, you can't be on the field." The man didn't even glance at him. He kept walking, straight to Jania. Stopped just in front of her, spoke low but clear. "You good?" Jania nodded. "I'm good now." He turned, looked at Chase, dead in the face. "Which one touched you?" Silence. Jania nodded toward Chase. No words. The man took one slow step forward. Chase backed up. "Yo, relax, man. I was just messing around." The man's voice didn't rise. "I asked you a question. You put your hands on my daughter?" Coach cut in again. "Sir, please. We can handle this through school protocol." The man held up a finger, didn't take his eyes off Chase. "I'm not talking to you." Then he said it, calm, cold, final. "Step away from my daughter." Chase looked around. Haley lowered her phone. The bleachers had gone silent. Even the girls who were laughing stopped breathing. Chase scoffed. "What are you, like, military or something?" The man raised his brow. "Or something." The assistant coach stepped forward slowly. That's Jania's father. He's Navy." Another girl added quietly, "Navy SEAL. My mom works in the registrar, said he just transferred to Fort Hood." Someone whispered, "Wait, a SEAL? Like the real ones?" Coach Simmons looked stunned. Command Chief Thompson, right?" The man didn't answer. He didn't have to, because Chase was already taking a step back. "Look, man, it wasn't that serious. We were just playing." The man nodded. "You call that playing?" "She didn't even say anything. You grabbed my daughter, humiliated her, mocked her in front of a crowd. I mean, yeah, but I didn't mean it like, but you did it." He stepped closer. Chase tripped over his own cleats. The man leaned down. Not loud, not angry, just surgical. "Do you know what I've trained for?" Chase didn't answer. "I've trained to clear buildings in silence, to take down men twice your size without breaking stride." "I didn't know." "No, you didn't." He stood up straight again. "But now you do." The whole field was frozen. Not a phone lifted, not a word spoken. Then Jania stepped forward. She looked right at Haley, still holding the phone. "You want that footage?" Haley didn't respond. "Post it," Jania said. "Make it viral. Let the whole world see what happens when silence hits back." Haley lowered the phone. Chase didn't say another word. Coach Simmons finally cleared his throat. Tryouts are officially over. Ever seen a moment like this? Where everything flipped. One step, one sentence, one truth at a time? Drop your story in the comments. I'm reading all of them. The video hit TikTok before the dust even settled. 30 seconds long, no filter, just a teenage girl standing tall. And a Navy SEAL father walking straight through a storm like he built the ground himself. No hashtags needed. By the time the sun set over Fort Worth, it had already cracked 1.2 million views. By morning, 8 million. Local news stations played it on loop. Texas high schooler faces public bullying during cheer tryouts. Her father, a Navy SEAL, steps in without saying a single curse word. In homeroom the next day, students weren't whispering. They were watching. Phones tilted sideways. AirPods in. One freshman girl wiped a tear. She didn't even raise her voice, she whispered. Another girl nodded. That's why it hit so hard. Principal DeWitt called an emergency assembly. Full school. Lights off. Projector screen on. The video played again, start to finish, then silence. Pin drop kind. He stepped to the mic. Effective immediately, he said. Chase Landers is suspended from all school activities pending disciplinary review. Gasps. A few claps. And Haley Monroe, he added, is being removed from the cheer squad for violating the school's anti-bullying policy. Even louder claps. One girl shouted, "About time." In the hallway afterward, someone caught Chase by the lockers. Yo, is it true UT pulled your scout meeting? Chase didn't answer, just slammed his locker and kept walking. At lunch, Jania sat alone, but only for a minute. Then came Kayla, then Bree from theater. Then Maria with 2 cafeteria cookies and zero shame. We got your back now, she said. Jania smiled. That's a first, Maria shrugged. Well, so is a Navy SEAL walking through tryouts. Later that week, a news anchor sat across from Jania on a folding chair outside the gym. So, what were you thinking when it happened? Jania blinked slowly. I was thinking I didn't have to fight. Why not? Because my dad taught me how to stand tall without swinging. The clip aired that night on WFAA Dallas. By midnight, CNN had picked it up. On Haley's Instagram, gone dark. Comments flooded her last post. You were smiling while she was crying. Not a good look, Haley. You're the reason girls don't feel safe in school. She tried to go private. It didn't help. Chase's older brother tweeted, as a former quarterback, I don't know that guy. That ain't how we lead. The replies lit up. Coach Simmons issued a formal apology at the next PTA meeting. I failed to protect every student equally, he said. I let the power dynamic get in the way of basic decency. Jania's dad didn't attend, didn't need to. His silence was still louder than the whole room. Attention students, the intercom buzzed. This year's varsity cheer co-captains are Haley Monroe and... Click someone in the office hit delete. Try again. Haley Monroe has been removed from the team. New co-captain, Jania Thompson. Silence in the halls, then claps, then cheers. Maria high-fived her at her locker. You're a whole legend now. Jania laughed. I'm just trying not to trip during halftime. Girl, trip if you want, you earned the floor. Coach Simmons pulled her aside that Friday. You good with mentoring the younger girls? I'll do what I can. He paused. I watched that footage 10 times, he said. You didn't move. Not once. That kind of control, I've coached 20 years and never seen it. Jania nodded. My dad always said, don't waste your energy proving what time will reveal. At the first home game, she stepped onto the field. Same shoes, same curls, same skirt that once made people snicker. Now, people stood, clapped. Parents pointed her out like she was family. That's her, one mom whispered. That's the girl. The principal ordered a mural for the gym hallway. A local artist painted Jania's silhouette, arms raised, head high. Below it, strength isn't about size, it's about showing up anyway. She started a group after school, Stand Tall, a space for girls who didn't look like catalog covers but still wanted to move, dance, compete. No weigh-ins, no mirror drills. No body talk unless it was affirming. Just sweat, sisterhood, and playlists full of Lizzo. One afternoon, the gym doors creaked open. 2 6th graders peeked in. You can try out next year, Jania told them. The smaller one asked, even if I'm not small? Jania smiled. Especially then. Haley, Transferred schools. No formal statement, just a blank profile and a missed senior yearbook quote. Chase, back on campus. No more team jacket, no more student section chants. He passed Jania one day by the vending machines. Didn't speak, just nodded. She nodded back, then turned away. Some things don't deserve your breath. At home, she tossed her bag by the door. Her dad was at the kitchen counter. Same boots, same stare. How was practice? He asked. Good. They try anything? Not anymore. He raised an eyebrow. She smirked. I outran 3 of them in sprints. He nodded. That's my girl. Ever had to prove your worth just by showing up? Ever stood in the fire and refused to shrink? Then this story was for you. And her story, it's not over. It's just the beginning. The bell rang. The hallway cleared. Jania stood alone at her locker, tying her hair back with the same red scrunchie they once laughed at. Maria passed by and tapped her shoulder. You see the comment section? What comment section? On the video, the one with your dad. Jania sighed. It's still going? Maria pulled out her phone. Read aloud. She didn't flinch. That's the kind of strength I wish I had at her age. Reminds me of my sister. She quit cheer after they told her thighs were too thick. Protect that girl at all costs and give her dad a medal. Jania shook her head. I didn't even say anything. Maria smiled. Exactly. So now I ask you, have you ever been laughed at just for showing up? Ever been told your body didn't belong? Your skin, your size, your silence? Then this story is yours too. Drop your story below. Tell us who you were when no one saw you. Tell us who you became when they finally did. Because someone watching this right now, they're sitting in the back, in the last row, in a uniform they were told they'd never wear, in a body they were taught to hate, with a voice they're still afraid to use. Let them see you. Let them hear you. And if you're the one who ever whispered the insult or laughed at the wrong time, or turned your head when you could have spoken up, it's not too late. You can start now. Share this story, not for views, for that girl in 3rd period who always walks alone, for that boy who sits out every dance because of his weight, for that teammate they never picked. And don't forget to subscribe, because this won't be the last time the quiet one shocks the whole field. Now tell me, what's your story? Drop it below. I'm reading every single one.